Oblique Seville, 9.77 personal best to win gold in the men's 100 meters finals at this year's World Athletics Championships 2025. So, is he the new sprint king? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video each one today in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yep, good to go. Well, we have a packed one for you today. First up, let's say happy belated birthday to Jamaica's Habiba Harris. Incredible hurdler over the 100 meters hurdles. Another one being primed, so to speak, for a yard, people. Queen Habiba turned 20 yesterday, September the 26th, and we want to say happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Better than you take.
Wanna live?
And a good start. Spencer with a good start from Tennessee, but look at her, the SEC champ out of Florida. Number one combination as it goes, and you see why.
Now, she didn't turn up in the finals of the NCAA Outdoor Championships in the women's 100 meters hurdles, but she was really the favorite due to injury. But I think she's going to have a great 2026 once she remains injury-free. So, happy belated birthday, Queen Habiba Harris. Absolutely incredible news for Hydel High School, as they have secured the coaching skills of the national record holder in the women's 400 meters hurdles, the remarkable Milane Walker. The former Olympic champion in the women's 400 meters hurdles, which she achieved at the Beijing Olympics in 2008, is also the national record holder in the event with a time of 52.42. Hydel has acquired her incredible skills. Congratulations to them both. Expecting something special from Hydel High School once again for 2026 at the Easter Boys and Girls Champs. Having copped another World Athletics Championships silver medal in the women's 4x400 meters relay at this year's Tokyo 2025 World Athletics Championships, Jamaica's Stacy-Ann Williams shared this on her social media pages. Every ending makes room for a new beginning. It's not just a season that ends, it's a chapter full of lessons, gratitude, and growth. Thank you for being part of it. Farewell to 2025 season. And people, I should tell you, she managed to drop a remarkable personal best, I believe in the semifinals at this year's World Athletics Championships in the women's 400 meters. From her previous best in this event of 50 seconds flat to a very impressive 49.59 seconds. So we are anticipating a great 2026 season for Stacy-Ann Williams. I am super impressed with how our 4x400 meter relay quartet of queens delivered at this year's World Athletics Championships 2025. Now, let's talk about the man of the hour, the remarkable Oblique Seville. Jamaica's Oblique Seville stormed to victory in the finals of the men's 100 meters, running a new personal best of 9.77 to take the win and to lead Jamaica to the Quinella. The Jamaicans took first and second, Oblique Seville in first with, as I said, 9.77, and Kishane Thompson took second in a time of 9.82. Noah Lyles of the United States took third in a season's best of 9.89, with Kenny Benerick running fourth in 9.92. Here is this race highlight.
This time they're away. It's a decent start by Lyles, but not a brilliant one. Thompson's in the driving seat here, but watch Seville on the near side. It's ever so close. Seville from Thompson. Lyles at last is beaten. Seville was desperately disappointed.
Now, as of this run, Kishane Thompson still sits at number one in terms of the fastest men over the 100 meters for the 2025 season with his remarkable 9.75 run. But of course, in second place is Jamaica's Oblique Seville, the now world champion, with his run of 9.77 seconds. In third is the American who came fourth in the finals with his time, of course, Kenny Benerick, better known as Kung Fu Kenny, with his time of 9.79. And Jamaica's Brian Lavelle sits at number 4 fastest over the men's 100 meters for the 2025 season with his time of 9.82. So the obvious question now is Oblique Seville now the man to beat? Is he now the new king of men's sprints? Clearly, his arch nemesis is compatriot Kishane Thompson, the fastest man in the last 2 years of the 100 meters. Noah Lyles, who took third and was the former champion. Kenny Benerick, who took fourth.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
So are we on the verge of the reign of Oblique Seville in the men's 100 meters? Will he prove to be a very, very difficult person to beat? Will he dominate for 2 or 3 years the way that Noah Lyles dominated? Now, in his opening bid at the World Athletics Championships in the heats of the men's 100 meters, Oblique Seville almost did not make it to the semi-finals. In his heat, the men's 100 meters, the first round, Oblique Seville ran 9.93 to take third, squeaking into the semi-finals. It looked to me as if he was a little distracted, but I kept saying to all of you that people were focusing on the wrong thing. The fact of the matter is, he rose very, very late, as you will see in the upcoming race, and was able to run a 9.93, a blistering time, to ensure that he made it into that top 3 into the semi-finals. That run, although it was stressful, definitely further impressed me. Here is his heat run at this year's World Athletics Championships in the men's 100 meters.
Well, Oblique Seville was almost left standing in his blocks. Excellent work by Leot Layla. And Seville has left this unbelievably late. Wow, incredible. Leot Layla.
But in his semi-final, he came back and did what he normally does in the semi-finals. He won in a time of 9.86 in semi-final number 3, looking very impressive. I did hear people asking, however, was he going to do what he always does? Because the fact of the matter is, on numerous occasions, he runs very, very well in the semi-finals and then does not spark in the finals. But I was convinced that this year, that was not going to happen. Here is his semi-final run.
This time, no wobbles from anybody. Lotel up into his running. Tobogo up on the South African at the moment. And look at Seville on the near side. Seville, Tobogo, and Lotel in third will have to...
Now, as you saw at the very start of this video, he went on to win the men's 100 meters finals in emphatic form, running a new personal best of 9.77. Now, if you've been following this channel, you will realize that for the last 2 years I've been saying, I think this young man is really dangerous, really, really dangerous. And we're going to go through the reasons why. But I became truly convinced that Oblique Seville had a huge chance of winning the men's 100 meters finals this year because of one interview he did. Take a listen to what he said in that interview.
Yeah, because it's actually a good win, but the main focus is the World Championship. So when I win at the World Championship, everyone can say what they want to say.
Yeah.
Because I know for sure I'm going to win.
At the London Diamond League 2025, Seville beat a field of massive talent in emphatic form, including the then defending world champion Noah Lyles. In fact, he decimated the entire field. Seville won this one in a time of 9.86, with Lyles coming second in 10 seconds flat, Hughes third in 10.02, Akeem Blake fourth in 10.08, Akani Simbini 10.11, Tebogo 10.12. This was as emphatic a win as one could have gotten. Take a look.
Away they go. Great start from Seville, who's got a little bit of a march on Noah Lyles. Lyles has got some work to do. Seville is going really well here. Seville's going to win this. Brilliant rim. He even has time to salute. 9.85. Wow. What a performance.
However, his next Diamond League run was even more impressive than this win at the Lausanne Diamond League under horrendous conditions in a monsoon. Nonetheless, he beat an even more stacked field by a clear 2.5 meters in a men's 100 meters. This also included Noah Lyles. Seville won this in 9.87, Lyles running 10.02, Blake 10.02, Simbini 10.05, Hughes 10.09, Courtney Lindsay 10.27. It was as emphatic a win as one could have in the men's 100 meters.
Good start from Oblique Seville. Oblique Seville at the moment has got the lead on the rest of the field, but Noah Lyles likes to charge at the end. Oblique Seville streaking away from the field here. He takes a second Diamond League win, 9.87.
Even the commentators said as much.
He does this in these conditions. Are you kidding me? No.
However, I have to be honest with you. I really suspected that this young man could win at the Jamaican National Championships. At the Jamaican National Championships, the clear favorite was clearly going to be Kishane Thompson. But just before the race, we can't show you here, it would appear to me as if Oblique Seville had something akin to a panic attack. That's the closest I can get. He said he felt something, he felt a cramp, he was afraid to run. The officials held up the race for a few minutes, and then I don't remember if someone spoke to him or he managed to convince himself, and then he went on to run an extremely impressive race, taking second behind Kishane Thompson. Kishane Thompson ran the fastest time recorded in the last 2 years in track and field, that time of 9.75, but the even more impressive run was a 9.83 run done by the remarkable Oblique Seville, given the fact that he was emotionally distressed at that point. Now, this was not his first such event. At the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, that was his debut, which happened, of course, in 2021 at the Tokyo Olympic Games. In fact, it's rather ironic that he came back 4 years later to win the actual men's 100 meters finals. Now, he had two showings prior to this in the World Athletics. In 2022, he came fourth running 10.02. In 2023, he came fourth running 9.88. This, of course, is at the World Athletics Championships in the men's 100 meters finals. He had also had appearances, as I stated to you, at the Olympic Games. Oblique Seville placed fourth in semi-final number 2 in a time of 10.09. 10.09 at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games in the men's 100 meters finals, and did not advance to the finals. This was his debut at this level. And at the Paris Olympic Games, of course, in 2024, he made it to the finals and ran 9.91 to take 8th due to injury. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. So, is Oblique Seville now the new king of sprint? Is he the new king of the men's 100 meters? Now, let's break this down in its purest form. The fact of the matter is, first up, I'm going to go back to a point that I've made several times in the past, and several of you seem to have had a problem with it because you misunderstand the term psychological. I kept telling you that the problem that Oblique Seville was having outside of his injury issues was psychological. He needed help. And we're not going to put it here, but he himself posted his sports psychologist and said, this man is the reason why I've done this well. He posted it. You can go back and check several of my videos, or you can Google it yourself. So clearly one of the problems he was having was psychological. I suspect being just off the podium on so many occasions can meet havoc on him. Secondarily, of course, his coach, the brilliant Glenn Mills, admitted it to us. And in fact, Oblique had said it, that he has been running injured for years. In fact, he ran injured this year to win the men's 100 meters at the Tokyo 2025 World Athletics Championships. And in fact, Glenn Mills has said what will happen, or he has alluded to the fact that he can't wait to see what Oblique Seville can do when he's totally injury-free. So clearly, Oblique Seville has gotten over the psychological barrier. Secondarily, his coach, the greatest male sprint coach of all time, let's concede it, the man who coached the great Usain Bolt, greatest male sprinter ever, has said that Oblique Seville, at 9.77 winning goal in the men's 100 meters at this year's World Athletics Championship, has never been at 100%. Never. And he's waiting for the day for him to get there. Now, there are some other factors we need to look at as to whether or not he's the new sprint king. So the first factor is he has gotten over the psychological barrier. We showed you earlier where he said after the London Diamond League, I am winning, which is exactly what he came back to do. We saw him overcome that issue that he had, and it was a panic attack, people. I am very sure it was a panic attack. You can question me whether or not maybe he really did feel a cramp, but he was able to get over it and run an astounding 9.83 to take second behind Kishane Thompson at the Jamaican National Championships in the men's 100 meters finals. An unimaginably impressive run. Then we look at the fact that he beat every single top tier sprinter between the London Diamond League and the Lausanne Diamond League this year, with the exception of Kishane Thompson. Which is why in our prediction we said it could either be Kishane or Oblique. Because the only person Oblique had not beaten was Kishane Thompson. The manner in which he beat these people in Lausanne and in the London Diamond League, he beat everyone by, in fact, he beat them by 1.5 meters at the London Diamond League and by about 2.5 meters in a monsoon, meaning pouring storm conditions. It was incredible. So clearly he's a class in his own. And in fact, in my opinion, the only person who can challenge him is perhaps Kishane Thompson. Then there's the fact that the psychologically strongest athlete sprint out there in quite some time, the former world champion Noah Lyles, you have to give the man his props. He beat Noah Lyles up until World Championships 5 times in 6 meets. And the 6th time he didn't meet him was at the Paris Olympic Games finals, where he got injured in the actual finals and still managed to run 8th, running 9.91. So is he the new sprint king? Well, let's be realistic. There's a Kenny Benerick. If he gets over his psychological issues, he could be very dangerous. Then there's the rising Brian Lavelle. Is he going to start to focus on the 100 meters? And then there's Kishane Thompson. The truth of the matter is, people, I think one of the reasons why Kishane lost was because he peaked too early. We've talked about it on several occasions because some of you believe it's easy to peak repeatedly over and over. It's not normal. Sometimes an athlete has a run like a Melissa Jefferson, or Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price or Elaine Thompson-Herah. But it's unusual. It's not something normal. So do I think Oblique Seville is now the new sprint king? Yes, he is. Will he be challenged? I hope he is, because I think we'll be able to see him run faster. The fact that he now knows how good he is, the fact that Kishane Thompson, because remember, Kishane Thompson is not as experienced as Oblique Seville. Kishane Thompson is not going to walk away saying, I'm cool being a silver medalist. He wants that gold too. I believe the race is going to come down to 4 men, maybe 5 if Brian Lavelle enters the fray, or if some new person gets in. But I kind of believe, based on what we have seen, that the fact that Oblique Seville now knows how great he is, the fact that he's not yet injury-free, so can you imagine when he gets injury-free? He's going to be very difficult to beat. But are there people who could beat him? Kishane Thompson. Noah Lyles? No. I have said this repeatedly. I do not believe once Oblique Seville is healthy, or even at 90%, I don't believe Noah Lyles will ever beat him over 100 meters ever again in history. Because the fact of the matter is, at this point, Oblique Seville understands Noah Lyles' roadmap. He knows how to beat him. It's not hard. Are there going to be people who come to challenge? I am certain there will. But I believe at this point, we could be looking at the beginning of the reign of Oblique Seville. The only thing that could stop him, 2 things. Kishane Thompson could stop him, and injury. So I believe he is the new sprint king. I also believe he could hold on to that title for a few years. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. Now, don't forget to support the channel. Check out our merch store at printify.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and hit the like button. Remember, you are royals, kings and queens. Bless us.